Cynthia and welcome to another episode of the FL1 Sports Podcast on FingerLakes1.com, where we highlight local athletes, teams, and events from all levels and types of competitive sports throughout the Finger Lakes region. And today we get to turn the spotlight on one of the best girls soccer players in Section 5 in New York State history heading into her senior year at Marion. She's currently New York State's all-time leading scorer with 260 career goals. She holds the state record for goals in a single season with 79. Her team is coming off back-to-back Section 5 championships, and she's committed to play soccer at Ohio State in 2020. I'm happy to welcome Chloe DeLyser. Hi, Chloe.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking the ride from Marion, and congratulations on what's been an amazing career so far.
Thank you.
My first experience with learning about you was, I think, when you broke the Section 5 scoring record as a sophomore. And, you know, this girl from Marion broke the Section 5 scoring record. Well, she figured she'd be a senior, but just a sophomore. So you've been playing on varsity since 7th grade, and you won the Wayne County Player of the Year 5 times. So you won it as a 7th grader?
Yeah.
8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Probably a front runner for this year, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
So when did you start playing soccer?
I started playing Marion Rec when I was about 3 or 4. Then I took off to Premier Soccer when I was 6, and then it just kept going from there. So
what did get you started was like the local rec league is a real young girl, 3-4 years old. And then, so explain to me what the difference is between that and then Premier.
So the Premier is way higher level. You have girls traveling from like all over Rochester, but now I play all the way up in Buffalo, so it's Rochester and Buffalo, and you have all these girls, and my entire team's going pretty much D1, so I'm playing with top girls, which push you, which gets you ready, and shows like during my high school season.
Sure, and so you're year-round soccer?
Yeah.
No other sports?
No other sports.
And is that true of all the other girls on your club team as well? Yeah,
pretty much.
So is the Premier, is that Western New York Flash? Is that related anyhow? Because I know you play with Western New York Flash, right?
Yeah.
That's your club. Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you realize that like soccer was your sport?
I would say when I shifted to Premier Soccer at the age of 6. It was just so much fun, and I was like, this is the only thing I want to do. Mm-hmm.
And at that point, were you, I mean, I guess it's going back a long way when you're 6, but did you realize that you were extra talented as a soccer player?
A little bit. My coaches always complimented me. They're like, wow, you're really fast. Yeah, it just gave me a lot of confidence. Yeah,
that's great when you're, that young to get that type of positive reinforcement. So I mentioned 5-time Wayne County Player of the Year. When you were brought up as a 7th grader to play varsity, what was that experience like? Were you ready for it? You clearly had a great season as a 7th grader, but were you a little nervous about that?
I was definitely nervous. Like, the girls were way bigger than me. Like, I'm not very tall, and I was even shorter than I was now. So the difference, I was like, oh my God, like, I'm going to have to figure something out because they're way bigger than me. But all the girls were super accepting of me, and I just showed off all my skill, and I just had so much fun.
And were the older girls on the team supportive of having a 7th grader? As pretty much must have been the team leader, at least statistically, if you were a Wayne County Player of the Year as a 7th grader. How did the older girls react?
I think they were a little nervous at first because I was like so small and like this was never a thing in Marion. Yeah. But definitely like after like my first day, I like totally tried to impress them. Sure. And I did, and they were all super nice. Like I was getting nicknames, like I made handshakes, and like I feel like some of them like this year, my senior year, they'll come to my senior night and I'll get to see them all.
So your coach is Lori DeLyser. She's a cousin, right? And a former Marion soccer player. She's the athletic director at Marion. Talk a little bit about the soccer program as a whole at Marion.
So we're a really tiny school, so it's 7th through 12th. So like my sister came up with me in 7th grade, but like we're all connected. Like even like the little girls, they all come out to watch us. So like like even the rec kids, so like our whole soccer community is together, which I think is why our soccer is so great, because like even from a little age, all the little girls are like, wow, someday I want to be on that varsity team, so they're working hard so that they can become us someday.
Yeah, I can kind of see how in whatever sport it is, some schools are basketball schools, some are soccer, some are lacrosse, but the program itself just inspires the youth to want to play that sport and eventually become a part of that program.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Marion is a small school. There really aren't, in the fall, they don't have a football team, so boys soccer is pretty big in Marion as well. What percentage of, do you know how many people are in your graduating class, your senior class?
Mine's about like 47.
47. So of that, you know, is it an even split, boys and girls, or?
Yeah, sort of.
I mean, does everybody play soccer?
A good, like most of them.
Right. So what's the experience like? Obviously, you're an elite high school player. You hold state records, and you have a chance at the national scoring record this year if you have a season even close to as good as you historically had. How does I guess the rest of the team, and there's obviously other really good soccer players on your team too that play clubs soccer and stuff like that, but how does the team chemistry mesh when you have someone that's as an elite soccer player as you with the rest of the team? Do you have to do anything different to maintain team chemistry, or does everybody just like turn to you as the leader of the team at this point?
Well, my senior class this year, like 4 of us have been on varsity since 9th grade, so we pretty much have like a great chemistry, but everyone that comes up, like I have tons of cousins, so it's like we have that family chemistry. Our chemistry's like, I don't know, it's just comes really easy to us because of like the small school that we are, and yeah.
And you all love playing soccer and played soccer together for so long. I think soccer is a sport, if maybe you agree with me, a little more so than other sports where, you know, the playing together for so long with the same group of kids really pays off as you get up in high school, more so than other sports, just because it's some would say it's like the ultimate team game, soccer, you know, 11 girls on the
it definitely is.
Field at the same time having to work together. So Marion is a great soccer program. In fact, 2010 state champions in soccer. Is that a goal for you to try to bring another state championship?
That's our biggest goal this year.
That's the number one goal? And you guys talk about that in practice?
We've been talking about it like every day at practice.
And so tell me about the last couple seasons. You won the sectional championship, and then you go on to the state rounds, the Far West Regional or whatever. What did you learn that you think that this team has to do that maybe those 2 previous teams weren't able to accomplish to reach that goal?
We just have to like get prepared, because some of our season games aren't as hard as like the games, so this year we do definitely have a couple more games that are going to challenge us and get us ready for that, which I think is going to be very helpful.
Out of league games that your coach scheduled for you, or?
Yeah, we play Victor, which is like a way bigger school than us.
Right.
So
yeah. What are the tougher teams in the Wayne County League this year that will provide you the biggest challenge, you think?
Williamson's always the biggest, because they're like our school rivals, so no matter like what our teams are that year, we always push each other, because it's just a school rival. It's just a thing, I guess. But honestly, I think some teams are going to really surprise us this year. Like the schools that usually are lower, I think are actually going to be better than some of the schools in the past years.
Yeah, Gananda may be one of those, or?
Yeah, I'm sort of seeing if Red Creek is going to surprise us this year.
Yeah, Red Creek is a traditional soccer power, maybe more so on the boys' side, but they're the Red Creek Mules for soccer and the Red Creek Rams for every other sport. And it's kind of something different too. So let's talk about like your personal development. Obviously, if you play soccer year-round with an elite level club, evaluate your game from the point of maybe 2 or 3 years ago, what has improved? What have you personally improved on?
So I've switched to the Western New York Flash about 2 years ago, and that's definitely when I started working on certain things like my ball speed, my movements off the ball, my vision for the ball. Definitely went way up when I joined that club with Coach Aaron. He helped me a ton, and like you can definitely notice on the field. Mm-hmm.
So what about conditioning? Is that something you've worked on, or is that just something that's come naturally? When you play so much, you obviously are getting a lot of running a lot of miles. Do you have to work on conditioning aside from everything else, or does that just kind of come naturally by playing a lot of soccer?
No, for sure I work off like that. Workout places, but all summer I've been working out, running, just to get ready for high school soccer. But like that's a huge thing in college, so I have to continue to do that because soccer fitness at Ohio State is top level, so I have to get prepared for that.
Yeah, speaking of Ohio State, so you have to. I'm assuming you started getting looks from colleges early on, especially when you start breaking all these long-standing scoring records. Mm-hmm. When was the first time Ohio State contacted you?
I would say about 2 years ago. When the first year that I joined the Western New York Flash was the first year I really got college looks, and that's when Ohio State started to contact me. So
Western New York Flash playing in a tournament somewhere, and there's college coaches there.
Yeah, college showcases. We go to like 3 a year.
Yeah, and then after that, you start getting contacted by schools. Any other schools contact you?
Yeah, West Virginia, Syracuse, and Purdue.
Okay, so a couple Big Ten schools in Syracuse. You ever consider Syracuse?
I did, but it's really close to home.
You want to get away?
A little bit.
Yeah, well, Ohio State's far enough away. What is it, probably 6-hour drive?
Yeah,
maybe?
But it's not too far.
Yeah. I went to Syracuse. So I could have recruited you for because our Syracuse women's soccer is pretty good too. So now that talk about the decision to commit to Ohio State, because you did that fairly early. You could have waited until this year, till even after this season, probably to commit to a school. Why did you commit and when?
So a lot of girls commit earlier now, and they sort of do give you like deadlines when they offer you. So like you have to make a decision. So I got a deadline, but it did get extended. But committing gives you so much more time to like prepare, because you learn like what that college like expects from you when you get there. Right. So committing early, like now I know what I have to do to get ready to go. So you commit, and now the coaching staff at Ohio State knows that you're going to be coming there, and they probably are keeping an eye on your progress. What kind of communication do you have with the coaches at Ohio State after committing? So once you turn a certain age, they can call me, text me. So like now they'll text me like, how are you doing? They'll ask me like how you're feeling and stuff, and then they just contact me because my official visit is soon. So yeah. Oh, so you're gonna, even though you committed, you still take an official visit? Yeah. Okay. And obviously, going to a school like that, you have to probably be excited about the opportunity to maybe attend some football games on Saturdays and be a part of that tradition. Especially since my school doesn't have football. Yeah, well, that'll be your first football game you go to as a student will be your freshman year at Ohio State. Yeah. So are you prepared for taking that next step in the fact that when you get to Ohio State, everybody on the team is going to be obviously an elite soccer player, probably an all-league type of player, all-state type of player. Do you know any of the girls that are there now or that have committed to go there along with you as freshmen next year? You met any of them? Maddie Lowe from Webster Schroeder. Okay. She is there. She is a junior this year, but I'll get to play with her for 2 years. And you talk to her at all? Yeah. Her family is like family friends with us. Oh, wow. So that makes things a little easier. She'll be able to show you the ropes and everything? Are you excited about college in general? Yeah, I'm ready to experience like something bigger than Marion.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in terms of what you want to study?
Sports management.
Okay. They got a good program there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely big news whenever a local athlete signs at a D1 school anywhere. But Ohio State is, that's Big Ten football, that's Power 5 conference, that's pretty good stuff. So, everybody around here will be keeping an eye on your progress there. But back to the fact that you got a season ahead, you probably already started practices. Do you guys do doubles this time of year?
We do 3-hour practices once a day. 1
3-hour practice a day. Take me through what one of those practices look like.
So we start out with our basic warm-up, but we do 2 laps around the field to start out with, so we get a little bit of conditioning. This week we've just been working on, we started with defense, the midfield, and forward, going through the basics. Because we also have the JV girls with us, so, we also get to help them out for this week. But we do some conditioning because you always have to, so we're ready for the season. And just, getting to work with each other again because it's been a little bit.
Yeah, it's to get the team together. Like you said, you've been playing soccer all winter and spring, but now you get the team together and you have that common goal of third straight sectional title, and then you mentioned a state title. How disappointing would it be if that state title doesn't happen?
It'd be pretty disappointing since it's my last year and it'd be my 6th year on varsity.
Lofty goal, though. I mean, it's big state, and soccer's a tough game, and you can have the best team and not win every. You could play the same team 5 times and beat them 4 times, but that one time they beat you just by a bounce of the ball or a 1-0 type of game. So yeah, it is a tough goal, but we'll certainly be rooting for you.
Thank you.
What does the name Esmeralda Gonzalez mean to you? You know who that is?
No.
Well, she's from South Hills in Fort Worth, Texas. She graduated in 2016, and she has 316 career goals, and you need 57 goals this season to beat her and become, at that point, no one in the history of high school soccer, girls soccer in America would have ever scored more goals. Does that kind of set in with you? What do you think about that?
It means a lot because, I come from such a small school, and I'll get to, show off my small school because, my school is not really well known, but, to do that for my school is, a big honor. And, if I do get it, it probably means that we are doing well in the season, which means we're getting to our goal of states.
So when you're out there scoring goals, I guess, and it's not just scoring goals. I think, what'd you have, 31 assists as a sophomore, and you had a ton of assists last year as well. Are you better inside the box or at distance? You score when you score that many goals, I suppose you do it a lot of different ways, but when you're looking to score, kind of what are you looking to do?
I would say drive in, take at least a couple players on, and get into the box.
And is there certain girls that you've faced over the past couple of years defensively where you've had to go head and head? Is there a couple better defenders in the league that you could recognize or point out today?
I wouldn't say in the league, but there's a girl from Newark who last year we only beat them 1-0, and she did a really good job of defending me. I think her name's Madeline. I forget her last name, though. Okay.
Well, every time on this podcast when I have a high school athlete in, we like to go with quick-fire questions. So these are just questions that you don't even think about, just answer them, okay? And there's some are about soccer, some aren't about soccer. So let's start with the quick-fire segment here. What's your favorite place to eat?
Panera.
Panera, and where's the closest one to Marion?
Penfield, probably.
Penfield? Okay. Is there any place in Marion you like to eat?
There's nothing in Marion.
No restaurants? Nice ice cream stand, though, I think. My daughter plays travel soccer right now. She's in 8th grade, and so we've gone up to Marion a few times. And Ohrbacher's on Route 31.
Ohrbacher's, that's in Williamson.
Yeah, but it's on the way, right? Kind of to Marion?
Sort of, yeah.
Depending on how you go? Okay. Who's your favorite U.S. women's national team player?
Rose Lavelle.
Okay. How come?
because she's like a new face and she's just been killing it in her skill on the ball. She stands out so much, especially this World Cup.
And so you like make a point to watch every World Cup game live?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a exciting thing. Love that team. Love watching every game. And do you think that inspires young women or young girls, kids to aspire to be better at soccer? Seeing that team win on a world stage?
It definitely does.
Favorite sports movie?
Oh, probably Kick It.
Okay, what's that one?
It's a soccer one.
Soccer movie? Okay. Outside of yourself, name the top 3 players in Section 5 this year.
Grace Murphy, Anna Hewlett, third one, probably Liv D'Amico.
And they're all on your club team?
Yes.
Okay. Favorite breakfast cereal?
Ooh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, nice. Yeah, definitely delicious. You're stranded on a desert island and you can only have one person with you. Who would that be?
Grace Murphy.
Okay, you and Grace on a desert island. You guys would be able to survive, the two of you? Forage for food and all that stuff?
I don't know about that one, but
you'd have a good time?
Yeah.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
iPhone, that's what everybody says now. I'm an Android guy. What's the weakest part of your game?
My height, so like getting balls out of the air, like headers.
Yeah, just and there's nothing you can really do about that.
Yeah.
You can hang upside down maybe at night and sleep out.
Maybe.
But that probably wouldn't work. Pre-game music mix. What songs you would listen to before a game?
Any like rap that really pumps you up.
Okay. Let's say soccer didn't even exist in the world. There's no such thing as soccer. What sport do you think you would have played?
Oh, maybe lacrosse.
Okay. All right. And what does an average Friday night look like for you?
Probably soccer practice.
What about, even on season or off season soccer? There's some soccer going on probably, right? Okay. All right. Well, that was a Quickfire segment. Before we let you head out of here, do you have any advice for young girls kind of starting their scholastic soccer career?
Yeah, just love the game. When you love the game, you're having fun and you're getting better, because when you love the game, you always want to play. And when you're practicing more, that's when you're getting better than everyone else.
Okay, yeah. Work hard. And I find that with any successful program or player, there's a whole bunch of people behind it, starting from rec coaches to high school coaches to parents and friends and club coaches, and there's just a whole lot of other people behind the scenes. So I want to give you an opportunity to recognize all those people that you can think of before we let you go.
My number one person is my dad, Rob. He's the one that pushed me to go to Premier Soccer, and he was my coach as a little kid, and he still is my coach today, and he's my biggest fan. Miss D for letting me do varsity in 7th grade, Coach Jason for helping me when I was little, all my umpire coaches at a young age, so Ed Sherman, Coach Glenn, and of course my Western New York Flash coaches, Coach Aaron, Rob Ferguson. All of them really helped me to get here.
Yeah, that's a long list. I'm sure they're all really proud of you and excited to see you have one last season of high school soccer and then see how you do at the next level. Outside of soccer, what are you most looking forward to as a senior?
Just having fun, especially with my sister, since it'll be like the last time I ever play with her.
Yeah, that's something special. Anytime you can have a sibling on a varsity roster with you, whatever sport it is, you'll probably remember this season forever.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll tell you what, Chloe, it's been an honor to have you up here. As of heading into your senior year, you are already established yourselves as one of the best soccer players in New York State ever, and you're going to add to that resume this year. Good luck in your senior year. We'll be following it and hopefully following you on a state title run. And then we'll keep an eye on you, obviously, next year at Ohio State.
Thank you so much.
So that was Chloe DeLyser. As I mentioned, just an amazing career. Started turning heads, especially as early as a sophomore, when she set the Section 5 scoring mark, and just kind of unprecedented to, as a sophomore, be able to attain those types of career numbers. And she had a great year last year as a junior, senior year ahead, before heading out to Ohio State. So thanks for joining us for another edition of the FL1 Sports Podcast. You can reach out to the show by sending an email to contact@fingerlakes1.com. For all our latest headlines and local content on the fingerlakes1.com local network, visit our homepage, download our free Android or iPhone app, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and look for us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts online. Thanks for checking us out, and we'll see you next time.